Well, this one is really, this little training topic is really not that complicated. It's something that I'm willing to do one-on-one for any of the agents that are listening. I'm willing to do this one-on-one individually with you. And you can get very detailed with your goal calculations if you want to like get really detailed with listings versus buyer transactions. And I can, basically pull commission information from last year or, years before. If you're an experienced agent, if you're a brand new agent, or you've, only been in the business, a year and don't have that much production to work off of in the past, then it's really not that complicated. But anyways, this is going to be recorded. It'll be up on YouTube so you can reference it. And I can help anyone who's got any follow-up questions. So let me share my screen and let's get going with this. All right. So let me do that. Sharing the screen, get rid of that, get rid of that. All right, let's start with calculating your production goals. So I have a little bit of an example here on the screen. When you are calculating your production goal, most people, what they say to themselves is, I want to make X amount this year from my real estate business. And that's, 1099. So you've got to remember that you've got to, pad some extra in there for your, expenses and your taxes and all that. So don't think of this, don't start with a number that is, just basically your net take-home pay. Try to just use a simplified number that is going to be the total commission that you're going to take home, and that'll be the number before taxes and all that stuff. So for simplicity's sake, let's just use simple numbers here. And that's what I've done in this example. So let's just say that you tell yourself, all right, I want for this year, 2021, I want to have 50,000 in commission income goal. So that's my before taxes, expenses, everything. That's my 1099. I want 50,000 at the end of the year. If you are a brand new agent, everyone starts at a 60% split. But if you're an experienced agent, you have a higher split, just where you see the 60% here. And I'll point it out as we go through the 4 steps here. You would just change that number from 60 to whatever your particular agent split is. You also need to settle on some sort of average commission percentage. If you're an experienced agent, that is information that we can actually get you based upon your past production history. If you are a brand new agent or you don't have that much production history, then it can be a little bit simpler. For this example, I'm just going to use a 3% commission average. One thing to note here is the more listings that you have, the higher your average commission percentage should be. So if you think about it this way, if you are taking listings, and let's say you're taking listings at 6%, you're paying out 2.7 to the buyer side. That means 3.3 is staying on your side of the transaction. If you are just working with buyers, or if you are mostly buyers, your commission average is going to be at 2.7 or somewhere closer to 2.7%. And again, not to go back to what I harped on in sales meeting this past week, but if you are working with just buyers, or even if you're thinking about this buyers and sellers, 2.7 is the percentage that we are wanting to give out to buyers agency, and that should be what the entire industry, our entire realtor industry, should be targeting for buyers agency. Anyways, so in this example, I'm just going to use 3%. You also maybe you have a target average sale price, or maybe you just know based upon your market area, your SOI, and your production history that you have a likely average sale price. Or maybe you are saying, all right, the past few years, my sale price has been, lower than I want it to be. I want to increase my average sale price. Whatever your situation is, you'll just need to settle on some sort of average sale price number. In this example, I'm using 200,000. The St. Louis City, St. Louis County, Jefferson County, the average sale price is going to be, either a little below 200,000 or a little above 200,000. So I'm just using 200 for the sake of this example. All right, now let's get started. Step one. First things first is you want to start with that commission income goal, and you want to figure out what the commission income would be before your agent split. So in this example, it's a 60% new agent split. And my commission income goal is 50,000. So what I'm doing is I'm taking that 50,000 commission income goal and I'm dividing it by 0.6, which is the 60%. So I'm dividing it by my new agent split, and that is giving me what the if 50,000 is 60%, what is 100%? So in that example, the 100% would be 83,333.33. So now that number in Berkshire Hathaway, Berkshire Hathaway Select Properties, all Berkshire Hathaway companies, and actually pretty much every real estate company that is part of a franchise, if it's a big brand, there is some sort of franchise fee. For Berkshire Hathaway, it's 6%. So what we want to do is we want to figure out what would that gross income number be with that 6%, franchise fee added back into the total. So that 60%, basically 50,000 divided by 60% gives us this 83,333. That number is technically just 94% of that, total gross commission income with that 6% franchise fee back, added back in. So what we need to do in step two is we need to take that 83,000 and change. I'm not going to repeat every one of those numbers again. Sorry. That 83,000 and change divided by that 0.94. Again, 6%. So 100% minus 6%, 94%. So divided by 0.94 equals 88,652.13. That is what the 100% would be. If this number, this 83,000 is 94%, what is 100%? 100% would be this 88,652. So at that point, we know what the total gross commission income would be before the 6% franchise fee is taken out. So now, step three, we are going to be looking at what is your, trying to find out what your volume goal should be. If 50,000 is your commission income goal and you're on a 60% split, we figured out what that 100% total gross commission before the franchise fee, we figured out what that number is. So then we're going to take that number, which is that 88,000 and change, divided by the average commission percentage per deal. So in this example, if you recall, going back to the top, I just decided that, we're going to just do the 3% as my average. So taking that 88,652 divided by 3, or divided by, sorry, this should be 0.03. So that 3% equals $2,955,071. So that is your volume goal if you wanted 50,000 commission income at a 60% new agent split, and you're just assuming that your average commission is 3%. That's your volume goal. So basically, let's just round that up. Your volume goal, you should be targeting 3 million in sales volume if that's your commission income goal. Now, step number 4 is how many units, how many transactions do I need to do? How many buyer and seller units do I need to do in order to hit that volume goal given my assumed average sale price? So I rounded up to 3 million. I'm not going to do all that math for all those numbers. Let's just say it's 3 million divided by 200,000, which is my average sale price for this example, means I need to do 15 units in order to hit that 3 million if my average sale price is going to be 200,000. Again, you can get really detailed with this if you want, but we're just doing this simply. There's no reason to get too detailed about it. So 15 units. Now, if you want to get detailed, you could, break this out and make this more complicated by setting an average commission percentage for my listing sides and then my average commission percentage for my buyer sides. You could if you want, but just taking one average commission percentage makes it a whole lot easier. No reason to overcomplicate it. To keep it simple on your buyer transactions versus listing transactions, just figure out what you want that ratio to be on your business. Do you want it to be 50-50? Do you want it to be 60-40, 70-30? What do you want it to be? And then you just take that total volume number and then, split it based upon what that ratio you want it to be. We all want listings. So I want everyone to be targeting listings in their total, volume goals. And I, want everyone to be targeting listings as they are building their business. Both Marie and I would rather that there be, we would rather that, there are more than 50% of this 15 units are listing transactions. As a new agent, it does take time in order to build up your listing business. So if you are more heavy on buyer transactions, that's fine. The goal, yes, is to get listings, but, the main goal is just to do business. So you don't want to pass on buyer transactions, but you do want to shoot to have a healthy supply of listings. So, all right. At this point, I know what my total volume goal is, and I know what the total number of units I need to do in order to hit that total volume goal, given these, these numbers that I assumed in my example. So in your CRM, in your Ruse Real OMS CRM, you have a tool to help you track how many, basically how many transactions you need to do, your average sale price, and your listing and buyer goals. When you log into your Real OMS CRM, you see this front page here. On your front page should be this report card. Your report card, it may be down here towards the bottom on this front page, but it should be on your front page. You can hover your mouse over these things and you can click and hold and you can drag them to move them around. So when you are looking at the top of this front page and if you don't see this report card up here at the top, scroll down to the bottom of the page and just see if it's one of these other modules. So I have my report card dragged up here to the top, so it's kind of like right at the top. Now, this report card here, this is just kind of like a simplified version. If you click on full report, this will take you to a separate page inside your Real OMS Ruse CRM under the report room for Real OMS reports. This will take you to a more in-depth look at your goals that you've set. And you can also, you can go back to prior years too. So in your CRM, if you are using it the way that you're supposed to and fully capable of using it, all of your buyer and seller contacts, you can track your transactions for each contact. All of your transactions that you're keeping track of within each contact, as you close those deals and you log the close date and the sales volume, the commission income in each contact's basically transaction fields, When you save those, you can then go to past years to see what your, what your goals are for 2021, how that compares to what you set for yourself and what progress you made in 2020, 2019, 2018. So I'm looking at 2021 right now. Now, next step is, okay, how do I input these numbers in here? How do I get to this point? Well, so what you're going to do is you're going to go to My Profile on the left here, Account and Lead Settings, and then scroll down a little bit and Goal Settings. This is where your goal settings are going to be. In my example that I took from here, for myself, and I'm not a producing broker, I don't do my own transactions, and if I do transactions, I'm doing them with another agent. But I just took these numbers that I pulled in this example and I put them into my goal settings here on my CRM. So I set for myself 50-50 split between listings and buyer transactions. My goal in that example was 3 million in total volume, which led me to just split that into 1.5 million for selling and 1.5 million for buying. My 15 total transactions, and I rounded up my GCI from that 88 and change just up to 89. And I set my average sale price at 200,000. So I did all this, I input all this stuff, and I hit save. And so that is how, where's my, no, in here, sorry, need to move this out of the way so that way I can kind of scroll. My agent report card, inside the Real OMS reports, and here is my goals, and here's my progress. So it's showing that I have progress. I've got one transaction that closed. It actually closed at 140,500, so it just rounded up to 141. This was a transaction that Dee in the South County office, her and I worked on, and it closed, I think like the 5th day of the year. So anyway, so I've already got one transaction, and here's the buyer transaction with the volume and the 1 unit here on my progress. Here's my goals, my 1.5 on the buyers, 1.5 on the sellers, 15 total units on transactions, my GCI, my average sale price. Now, right here, it's saying year-end estimate. So since I closed that one transaction for 141,000 and I closed it in the first week of January, it's estimating my CRM that if I kept that same pace up, this is what I could get for my my buyer total buyer volume, and what I could get for my total transactions if I kept that same pace up. Obviously, that's not realistic, but as you get further in the year and you add, you close out your transactions within your contact fields, this estimate will actually kind of get a little bit more realistic. Since we're so early on in the year here, that's why it's so it looks so unrealistic. All right, so very simple. It's not that complicated. This is something that I can do individually with everyone. So if you want my help to calculate this for you, and if you want me to one-on-one show you how to do all of this in the contact fields, I am more than willing and more than capable to help you with all that. Are there any questions?